proud that your son or daughter is in this community, because it all starts at home. And I know that, being a parent. Okay, some of you youngins, get up and let these people sit down. No. Yeah, no, that's not true. You're not going to. Yeah, there you go, Ellen. There you go. Yeah, front row seat. Yeah, thank you, Manuel.
Thank you.
Ozzy, you going to give your seat up? Up, sit down here. There we go. We're all set then. All right, perfect. So I know that all starts at home with your guidance, and as amazing as these students are as a community, the parent community is equally amazing. I have never made a phone call to any family where I haven't got full 100% support, good or bad news. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for sending these amazing kids each day, excuse me. We've had a fantastic year because of that. So what I would like to do is, who are you looking for? Celeste's not here. What I'd like to do is start with the 6th graders, and I'm going to ask them to just come up. I want to say a few words about them. They'll get a certificate of achievement that says that they've completed 6th grade. Big surprise. Everyone passed. Every 5th grader is going to be in 6th grade. Every 6th grader is going to be in 7th grade. Okay? So, yes, right? Well, except, no.
Gloria?
Yeah.
Can we start with our little presentation to you first?
Sure.
The parents have to go to graduation for the up to their age.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So, oh, there. Filming. And how can I?
Updating.
It's at the top, so you can get it. So I'll sit up here.
Okay.
Okay, I'll try to get through this without falling. So I had to prepare it.
Would you like to sit here?
No, I'm good. I'm good. It says, thank you for joining together today as we unite classroom family to honor Miss Keenan. Let's just start by taking the written words from Miss Brittany Greiner. I think we will all agree she's spot on.
Get out!
So do you want to read what she wrote?
I do want to read what she wrote, but I want to show everybody. I got goosebumps, okay? I'm just saying. Okay. It says, to Gloria, best teacher ever! You guys know me too well. Okay, you all are not touching this. It's going up there. All right? I just got to say, this is fabulous. Wow, thank you.
Okay, as the school year has come to a close and our children eagerly prepare for their long-awaited summer vacations, they are also confidently prepared for the transition onto middle school, thanks greatly to Miss Keenan. Our children are so fond of her because they recognize the Miss Keenan difference, the love, commitment, and hard work that she brings to the classroom every single day, and in truly making sure that on her watch, there is no child left behind. We have all benefited greatly by knowing Miss Keenan and having her passionately teach, motivate, and encourage our children. While some of us will be leaving ANLC, we will not be leaving Miss Keenan, as each of our children will indelibly carry the very best of Miss Keenan with them as they journey forward with their educations and interactions with peers. As a special tribute to Miss Keenan from her 2014 students and family, we would like to leave with her a lasting and cherished memory of gracious appreciation.
You want to help your mother?
You're gonna want to see. You're gonna flip out.
Am I gonna like really scream and like do flips if I could?
Use on the other computer.
Well, you guys can all come up here. Is this from? Is it?
Awesome.
Oh my gosh!
So we had the Mercury team autograph the jersey for you, and we had 14 on it for your class of 2014, and all your students have signed messages for you. So
You guys, this is really amazing. amazing.
Well, you are beyond amazing.
You are. Yes, you are, Miss.
Okay, so, Bobby, we all have little parts here. We're going to keep going so we
All right.
can get through this. Your class also would send you off with a few of your favorite things. So, Bobby has...
How about a little bit?
How about a little dough?
Little dough. Oh, that's a great pizza! Wow. Wow.
And Drew has something else we came out for you. Here you go.
Oh my goodness.
Make sure they don't shake.
My favorite. Thanks, Snickers, and more money. Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah, Keela thinks it's fake, but it's not.
It looks fake.
Yeah, it does. Probably any of those. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, in there. Okay, and then I'm going to start the awards off from a few of your students here with the Best Fan Award.
Okay.
We want to thank you for supporting our kids inside and outside the classroom. So, you are getting your own season ticket to the Spikes.
Get out! Yes! Yes! Are these the first ones ever made? Ever.
Check the back out.
Oh, look.
And then on the back, I have pictures of the kids.
Kids.
So, and then,
Fantastic. Nice.
okay.
You know, this might be one of the first times ever that I'm speechless. I know that's hard for people who know me for a long time to believe. I think this is just an amazing representation of who you are as individuals, both the parents and the kids. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for understanding my passions and acknowledging them in some of my not so good habits, but it's all right, it'll work. This is, I don't know where I'm going to put it up in the room, but I may have to rearrange my room to get it up, but it will be up next year and will be in my classroom until I leave teaching. So thank you very much for doing this. So, boy, that's a hard act to follow. So I'm going to call the kids up and just do 30 seconds of who I know they are as individuals. On the back, and you sixth graders who were here last year, remember that we have memories of our year that are just pictorial memories of 2013, 2014, and some of the fun things we did. I didn't include everything because the page isn't big enough. But all right, so let's get started with this. Chris, come on up. Okay, Chris came to us mid-year this year, and the thing that I always say to him is, gosh, I wish we had you from the beginning, but I'm glad you got here eventually. This young man came into a class that he didn't know very many kids, and I'm going to let out one of the awards, Best Friend. That's what they voted him for. Yeah. He's going to be with us next year again, so you all that are good friends with him and are staying at ANLC, you'll get to see this guy again. So Chris, thank you for joining our community and doing such a great job. Okay, Kayla, come on up. So this girl, I don't know, maybe third grade, she started saying, hey, Miss Keenan, dear, what will happen if I don't get her in my class? Oh, I mean, you know, I'm attached to her before she even arrives. Amazing kid in so many ways. I think the thing I am most impressed with is your tenacity for your work, and your willingness to help anybody who is around you. And that will take you far, young lady. And come see me next year, because you know what will happen if I don't, right? Bobby, come on up. So, Savi showed up, I think, as a third grader on the sidelines of the soccer field. And lots of energy, cheering, whatever. Her brother was on the team. He had never played soccer before, and he's like, I don't know if I should play. But you're an athlete, come on out, right? Well, needless to say, he was amazing on the soccer field. But back to Savi. This young lady this year took on an amazing feat. She's always been a good writer, and she said to herself today, or this year, and to me, Miss Keenan, I'm going to write like my brother writes. And I said, okay. And she said, what do you think I need to work on? I said, word choice, right? She took that and knocked it out of the park. Now, she has this downside of spelling. I totally can relate with her on this. So she's like, Miss Keenan, it's killing me. And I'm like, get the thing to me on Thursday, and I'll pull Audra up, and Audra and I will figure out how to spell these words, right? But she took it on herself. She put that back on her back, and she just took off this year. That shows the spirit this young lady has, and she is amazing, and I have been blessed to have you for 2 years, and you better come see me. Okay. There you go. Augusta, come on up. So Augusta, gosh, I met Augusta when she was in first grade, and when she was working with Mrs. Rathbun. And as the years went on, she, I would see her in high and that kind of thing. So again, somebody who walked into my classroom, I felt like I knew this student already. This young lady has to work extremely hard to continue her journey in education. Never once have I seen her give up. And I'll tell you, that's a tribute to who this young lady is, with her ability to continue to work even when it's hard. So, Augusta, I will miss you, for you, and you better come see me. Here's the threat. So every kid's saying, yeah, Miss Keenan, I'm going to come see you. So this is what I told them. You sixth graders, if you don't come back. Now there's a few that are leaving the school, right? But I'll figure out a way to get them to come see me, like, I don't know, college age or something. That if you don't come see me, I just walk upstairs during my planning period, and I pop into the class, and I embarrass you. And I got a lot of goods on all of you. So come back and see me every once in a while, right? Dario, come on up. I love this young man's energy. Love it, love it, love it. When something is happening that isn't quite going quite right, I'll say his name and he'll go, okay. And last year we were saying this word to him, filter, filter, filter. Do you remember that?
Yes.
We didn't have to say much of that this year. Because this guy took off. He put what was in front of him. And the story I want to share with about this guy is we had this national park at the end of the year. He rocked it. He got above 100 points. They had to score 100 points. There's 70 of them I made them do. 30 of them they could choose. He went above and beyond. His material was fabulous. So, the gig's over that you can't do it anymore. I'm going to let them know upstairs that you can, because you showed us. I'm going to miss you terribly. I'm going to miss your energy. I know you'll come by because I'll still have these athletic basketballs and soccer and all that kind of stuff. So you'll still come by. Yeah, all right. Octane isn't here, so we're going to put him aside and give that to his mom later. Warren Ruff, come on up. So I had the good fortune of having her sister, having her older sister, and she was a hard act to follow, wasn't she? But here's the thing, like in many families, each kid has their gift. Lauren's gift is hard work and asking questions when she needs to, asking for help from me and other students. And that is something that Lauren will take you into the work world after college, and you'll be so successful because you have those traits. And she's quiet, but not many people know that she's really, really sweet. So she made her mark on my heart, far different than her sister did, but equally as deep. I'll see you in the gym on teams, right? All right. Sophie. This is Sophie Peterson. She was a great student. All right, I just got to say one thing, and I hope it doesn't make you cry. And if you cry, oh, they're happy tears. Sophie came in the shyest kid I've ever met in my life, and just very quiet as a fifth grader. And she would just watch. And she'd hang out, and she'd talk a little bit. By the end of fifth grade, she started to come out of her shell. In sixth grade, you see those big flowers that blow up that are just shot up and they have the flowers at the top? That's Sophie. She is an amazing young lady who I have been blessed to have for 2 years. You've enriched my life, and I know I've enriched yours, and I will miss you terribly, and I need that new address. Okay? Alan and I have a few bruises from duking it out a lot, but and that's a good thing, because he could stand up for himself. And he has made that turn from a kid who shows up to school to a student this year. He has begun to show, and again, the gig's over because I'm telling him upstairs you can, okay, get stuff done. And he has taken it upon himself to be a good friend, to open his arm and his compassion and his care to everybody in this class. And you just need to keep doing that, okay? Anna. Anna Banana. You look amazing today. You dress nice, but today particularly so. Bring yourself around here. There you go. So Anna came to us this year as well, and she was chatty Cathy. She was like I was when I was her age. Nah, shut up. I still can't fight. And so the first trimester, you know, your daughter's having a little hard time controlling herself. She came back in. That was a tremendous change. But what she did is very similar to what Chris has done. She came into this group that's pretty tight, right? You would never know she's someone that arrived this year. She just worked her magic and got friends and did the things that kids do when they're great people. So I'm kind of bummed I didn't have you for 2 years, but I have to look forward, right? And I see just amazing things coming your way. Still getting to see you on the basketball court, right? Okay. So you still have to come down even though I see you at the end of the day. You understand that, right? Okay. So, let's give it up for Anna. Tyree! Come on down! Come on, under, it's okay. We'll forgive you. Parents, don't look. I know that's not what you want to see. No. There he is, slithering through just like his ferret. All right. So Tyree came mid-year towards the end of last year, and this kiddo is a very impressive kid. They all are. His claim to impressiveness is his ability to be a cheerleader for whoever is out there, and he has a reputation throughout campus of being polite and respectful and fun. And those three things sometimes are very hard to do together. This young man has done it. He was kind of concerned about Ames. He came to me and he said, Miss Keenan, I need some more help. So for 2 weeks, talked to his parents said okay. For 2 weeks before Ames, he came and worked with me for an hour after his full day at school. I think that shows the tenacity and hardworking willingness that this kid has. I'm just not going to say goodbye. I'm going to say, see you later. Have a later. All right? Mr. Gibbons, come on up. Go here. There we go. All right. Okay, so I met this kid when he was in first grade. I know this comes up a lot, but and I saw him on the field playing with like 6th graders soccer, and he was like making him look weak. I'm just saying. And I'm like, oh, who's that? So I went to his friend. Who's this kid? She's like, oh, it's Drew Gibbons. Oh, that's cool, you know. She goes, oh, his dad's a football player too, or a football coach. And I'm like, oh dear, he must be so sad. But as I got to know Mr. Gibbons, that is not the truth. Drew, you bring sunshine and sparkle to my life every day. This guy's claim to fame is, if there's anybody that needs a partner, if there's anybody that needs someone to be there for them, even if they don't know it, Drew is on the spot. He went from a mediocre reader to an amazing reader. He went from a mediocre writer to an amazing writer. And that is due to his hard work and stick-to-itiveness. Obviously, I have a little special love for him because I coach soccer, and boy, did he make our team look good this year. So I am really, really glad he's going to be back for the return of next year with some other 5th graders, 6th graders will be next year that will add to this group. But Drew, I'm really just going to miss you. You've made your mark, okay? Come see me. Mr. Furman. Mr. Mickey Mouse. Here we go. Woo! Aaron, when I say people are hard workers, there isn't another thing to say above that, and if there was a word, that would be anything. You work so incredibly hard at your academics, and there's roadblocks. And you know what? You don't even let them bother you. You just run through them. And for that, I appreciate you as a student and as a human. The other thing that I love about you is just your joy that you bring. And you spread it. And so when people are wanting to have a good time, here's the man. I'll miss you, buddy. Mr. Eckland. You took your hat off for this? Okay. The story, what goes around comes around, or pay it forward, or however you want to look at it. I have a son who's 21 years old now. His name is Garrett. And Garrett is a spitfire, to say the least, right, Mrs. Rep? Yeah. He got to know Mrs. Rep within a month of coming to the school, so that about says it. He wanted to repeat 6th grade, and he had Mr. Eckland, this guy's dad, for 6th grade. So I went to Art, and I said, Art, will you do another year with my son? Now, mind you, he's a kid that when he was out, the classroom was just that much more pleasant. And I don't, I love my son, but man, he gave everybody a run for their money. So I met this guy when he was 2 years old, right? And he's come over to my house for Kwanzaa, and we've done a lot of stuff outside of school together. Yep. So the joy is that I could be a part of his family again in a different way. And the joy is that I got to be the teacher in his life that his dad was in my son's life. So as the circle turns, goes around comes around. This is a perfect example of that. And he's an amazing young man. So I just want to thank you for giving me 2 good years. All right, buddy? Yeah, you know what? Let's just cross that thing out. Here we go. Maddie, come on up. So Maddie arrived. Can you guys turn so we can put your head down so we can see that pretty face? Maddie arrived not this past year, but the year before as a new student, and she had a pretty rocky start. Her mom was kind of worried about her. You know, she wasn't making friends, and you know, if you saw her today, I don't know what she was thinking. But she has done an amazing job. She is an incredible math student. She had a really an interesting journey in math, because she goes up to the 7th grade for math. Who is interrupting this? Oh my gosh. And so that means when there's math time here, she has to be productive. So she'd come in at towards the end of language arts, and I'd say, this is what we did, and she would just take care of it. So although she's kicked back and laid back and never kind of causes any difficulties, I know what's in this heart, and in this heart is someone who's intelligent and works hard and can be an independent learner. And don't forget how to do that when you get upstairs, okay? Keenan, come on up. Oh my goodness gracious. So I got Keenan 2 years ago, and I kind of followed him along sort of the same journey with Drew, because they were like always together. So we're having our first conferences as 5th graders, and his dad, Keenan 1, this is K2, he's K1. If you ever met the guy, you're like, you know, he's amazing, but he's a little bit intimidating. No, I'm not intimidated by most people, but even I was like, okay, I gotta bring my A game to this. So he's sitting across from me, he's asking me all these academic questions. How's he doing to this, and how's he doing to that? And I'm like, he's doing fine. He's doing great. There's some progress that he's made, right? So we get sort of towards the end, and you know, we're talking about, you know, next year, and he goes, well, he's going to Mojave next year. I go, what? What? He can't be going to Mojave next year. And of course, you know, Kilo doesn't get, he's not flappable. So he's like, well, yeah, that's our plan. And I said, okay, I need 2 minutes of your undivided attention. Will you give me that? And he goes, yeah, I'll give you that. So I spoke as fast as I could about all the things this kid was going to get if he stayed with me 1 more year. Okay. And so he's, you know, and I'm not knowing if I'm hitting him because he's unflappable. I'm not knowing if it's happening or not, right? So then at the very end I go, and besides, he's got to be able to play soccer with me at least 1 year. I think that's what cinched it. I'm not sure. But he promised me, came back later and said, we're going to send Kilu. So thank you, Kilu 1, for doing that, because this young man, there's just a tightness that we have that's almost unspoken. And he, too, has worked very hard. He came in, and he's a good reader. He's much stronger now, right? Writing this year took off. Science this year, he wanted to know how to do it, and there's a lab book to look at, right? So academically, you have been amazing. When he's real excited, he gets this sparkle in his eyes, and he squinches his nose up, okay? And that's a look that my mother had. So you're just special for a lot of reasons, buddy. I'm going to miss you. Okay. But I got Allie, come on up. Sasha, Allie, we're not sure today what it's going to be, but we'll go with Allie. Is Sasha up? Sasha. Back to Sasha. Okay. I put Allie here if you want me to redo it. Okay. So this young lady has been at our school, but she wasn't in my class last year. I'm like, what's up with that? So she made a request to her mom, and she joined us this year. And here's a young lady, because of her past, language has not been easy for her, particularly written language. So is it okay if I talk about how you really just turn the corner on that? Okay. So beginning of the year, they're writing letters, and I know you all had to live through that letter writing again for Ms. Keenan. And she worked real hard with me and took the comments that I wrote on her weekly letter and worked that. The last letter that she wrote, which was an easy one, what do you want to do the last week of school, was absolutely amazing. And I tribute that tenacity in you that will take you far. Just use it. She says she's not a good artist. Don't ever believe that. When we did the sploosh and I had to have the cover of the bottle, she's the one who designed it. So she'll claim she's not a good artist, but so keep doing that, even if it's under the shade, because you're amazing. Right? Thank you. Alicia. Oh, Alicia, it's been a great 2 years, hasn't it? Yeah, it really has. You are one of those students that is, and this is meant as a compliment, a bulldog. Okay? She's never going to let go of things. She's going to take it and run with it and run with it and run with it until she gets it right. And I've seen her blossom both academically and socially. And I don't know what I'm going to do when I look out to my students next year and your faces in there. So you promise to come see me. Okay, so I have a decision to make now, and I'm going to ask the kids to vote on this, which is what we do most of the time. But they do know that it's really a monarchy. Okay. You think that it's a democracy, but sometimes it's a monarchy and Ms. Keenan's going to decide. This is not one of those times. So I have not done any fifth grader. And we have these awards. So what I would like to do, what I'd like to present to you, and just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, okay? I'd like to do the same thing I did with the sixth graders to the fifth graders. And then when the glee group gets back, we'll do these awards. These awards underneath here are the awards that the kids voted on, you know, who has the best eyes, who's the most handsome, who's the most beautiful, who's the most athletic. The quiet one went with Abby yesterday. And there's a thing of candy that kind of represents that particular award. So thumbs up, thumbs down that we do this, and then we come back and do this. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Everybody needs to vote. All right, we're doing it. Thank you. Sagey, come on up. Okay, it's okay. It's all right. Breathe. Breathe. That's what I'm doing to get through. Breathe. So Sage wasn't on my class list at the beginning of the year, and they came in that first day when you meet the teacher, and it's not school starting yet. And her parents said she really wanted to have you, and I said, well, I can go to Mr. Kreiser and ask, but he's going to say she's in the other class. But if you go, mind you, I'm talking you parent to parent, not SUSD employee to parent, but parent. Go talk to Mr. Kreiser. So they did, they came back, she's in the class. This young lady took it upon herself and she has struggled with reading. It's not because she hasn't worked hard. It's not because her parents haven't, supported her. She gained, can I tell them how many years? 2 years of growth this year in reading. I had her in math, and at the beginning of the year, she'd look at it and she goes, I can't do that. What? Do you say that anymore? No way, no way. Leaps and bounds in math. And she, unfortunately, is going to be moving to the East Coast. I talked to your dad already. I travel over there about every other year. And I said, so if I come over, can I come down and be on the beach with you guys? And he said, so it's a bittersweet. I've seen her do amazing things, but I won't be able to do that next year. But she's going into that new school ready to rock their world. So do it, all right? Okay, we'll just get the nasty stuff done early. I can't believe you're not going to be on my soccer team next year. Okay. This young man, gosh, I've known the family for a long time, so I've seen him a lot, and was really, really happy when he ended up on my class list. I'm going to do another squeak out for an award because I think it speaks to who this young man is. Okay, so he's a 5th grader. We have these 6th graders. They think they're really good athletes, and he's just in there with the mix of them. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Gonna go out and have a good time. And there were some problems on the soccer field during recess. So they come and talk to me, and I, go out there every once in a while and say, okay, what's the deal, and kind of straighten it out a little bit. And then they come back. It's happening again, Miss Keenan. But here's what I know about this guy, because all of you voted him the best sportsman. Right? Okay, so he's gracious on the field. That happens in our classroom as well. That happens academically. That happens personally, because that is the heart of this young man. And I will really miss you next year. I don't know how I'm going to see you, but I'll be popping up. Yeah? All right. And I'll try to be nice to you when you're on that other team for soccer, okay? I'll make you fun. Helen, come on up. Mr. Energy. What was the name of that character in the Bears?
Oh, Scout. Scout, yeah.
Scout. This is Scout in human form. I don't even know what to say. I love his energy. He is someone who needs to be reined in. But here is the great thing about him. When he's reminded of that, there isn't anything other than respect and taking care of it. Academically, you just need to read more, men. Read. You hear this, Mom and Dad? You got it on film. Read. Because if you read, you'll get better at it. And you've made some good progress this year. Don't take the summer off, man. All right? Yeah, you're saying that. They're filming this. You know that. Okay. And you got your big brother here, so it's all over. All right? But this guy is such an athlete. He couldn't play this year, so he was our manager for soccer. He would stay every day after school and hang out with us and shag balls and stuff. So I'm really glad he's going to have an opportunity next year to play. You're going to have a hard choice, basketball or soccer, and you choose what's good for you, and don't worry about me because I can handle it. All right? So keep your energy.
All right, Helen. So I tried to teach the kids that I'm not the only resource in the class, and when it comes to spelling, I am not a resource. Okay, I have my little thing. I got the abdictionary.com. That's how I do it. And I write stuff up on the board, and I go, okay, if it's wrong, you got to tell me. I'm not going to be offended, because sure as I put something up on the board or whiteboard or smartboard, an administrator's going to come by and see it and go, oh. What's the matter with her? So you guys need to keep me in line. Misspell right here, okay? So I'd say, I'm not really sure. Go check it out. And she would happily do that. So using resources around them, you've been an amazing resource. Also another amazing artist, this one right here. And what's interesting is that, sometimes it was hard for her to get into school and get going. So she says to me yesterday, Mom, you're going to love this. She says to me yesterday, I can't believe tomorrow is the last day. I'm going to miss school so much. And you know what I said? Cha-ching! quiet one, working behind the scenes, started to come out of her shell. Amazing job telling you when things weren't going right. She was my thermometer or pulse of the class. Miss Keenan, did you know this? No, I haven't. And she just did it with such grace. At one point I thought she might not be coming back to the school. And I said to her mom, so I'm ready for next year. Right? All right. Jack Norris, come on up. Okay, so he gave me a letter today. He said, don't read it to anybody. Okay, it's private, Jack. This is our little, what do you call a person who, is it entomologists?
Yes.
That are bug people?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the man. He knows more about bugs, but more importantly, when bugs, flies, anything get in our classroom, you know that scene on Karate Kid where he catches the fly? That's Jack. That's Jack, right? Academically, Jack has made great strides this year. He came in as a math student, not really sure what he thought about math. What do you think now? It's good. That's as good as it's going to get. So I am thrilled that I have another year with you. I'm looking for bigger and better things. And I'm just glad you came. Danielle, come on down. It's going to be okay. Yeah. This is Danielle at its best. Just quiet, reserved, ready to do what she needs to do. She's a real young lady. And I don't know how many people know that because she's that quiet. But some of the stuff that she has done this year has been outstanding, particularly the writing. And I'm just looking for next year for you to just keep climbing, and maybe share with you that one or two people we can think about. You're going to be in here, your mom's not taking that. She is. No, she's not. All right. So they split the boys up and I'm one half. Right? Yeah, I'm not happy for that. This guy made amazing growth this year in everything. And his project for the national park was fabulous. It was so amazing. He works with Mrs. Rand. It was so amazing. I said, you need to take this poster up and go show Mrs. Rand. And what'd she say? It's wonderful. Yeah, exactly. So, the gig's over that you can do big things. Because now we know you can. And that's a good thing, isn't it? Yeah. And I am going to be so happy to have you back in my class next year and be a leader for me. Okay? Okay, I'm going to skip around a little bit because I have exactly 6 minutes to get the kids who are in the glee group. I have to get to them first because they have to leave in 6 minutes. And then we'll just continue with the other ones if you guys are okay with that. All right? Celeste, come on up. Yes, you look. Don't you look nice? Woo! Here's another family that I know pretty well because of her brothers and nephew, right? Robert's your nephew?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Coached them both in soccer, so I had this connection with them. This young lady took off in math this year. Just took off. really struggled at the beginning of the year. Oh, it's so hard, it's so hard. Kept with it. Got her homework done, always did her homework, practice. The amount of growth that she showed from the beginning of the year to the end of the year in math for this class, she made the largest growth in math. Give it up for her! I'm so glad you're going to be back with your kind and compassionate ways and helping those little fourth graders become fifth graders. Are you with me? All right. All right, let's see. There's one other I think I have to do. Jessica. Come on up, Jessica. Here's another bittersweet story. She arrives this year. Her family really just jumped into being ANLC parents. And she's leaving us this year. She's going to be at the school that her mom teaches at, which is a really amazing school. I'm not promoting any school, so I'm not telling you what school. I had you for a year. I am so blessed to have had that time with you. You have grown socially. You have grown academically. And you've grown lots of people's hearts. And I just want to thank you for an amazing year. There you go. Okay. Antonio, come on up. Got your hair tucked in. Good job, Mom. So, I tend to get a lot of athletes. Figure that, huh? But I'm always thankful. We had a tournament of kickball, and I talked them into doing a round robin, all the classes in the balloon. So we played Mrs. Missle's class a couple times over the years, and that's something that's not whatever. So, anyways, Antonio is one of those athletes. Antonio and Kellen worked at the end of the year together. And I think I'd rather do it or not, really. Because, they have the same kind of energy, and sometimes that's not great in that setting. So I said, it's a test. If I have to talk to you, I'm separating you, and you're going to have to figure out what you've done, how you're going to split it up. They rock. This guy right here tethered this guy. Tethered him in, but their project was amazing. They did above and beyond. And Antonio, this is what I know. You're going to go to a school that's a little bit larger. You need to remember what you did when you worked for national parks. You need to remember how to do that. And if you do, you will do an amazing job no matter where you are. I'm really going to miss you. I'll be nice to you on the soccer field when I see you. But I'll be inside going, Okay, Ozzy, come on up. Mom, I'll have them down there at 10 up. Okay? Where are you, Oz? I love it when we have families that just keep sending me kids. This is another example of that. I had his older sister, and quite different from his older sister, but amazing in his ability to stick to things. Sometimes that hurt a little bit, and we duke it out, but that's all right. We came to agreements, right? Excellent job this year. I'm really looking forward to having you be in our class next year and help those little fourth graders become fifth graders. You on? All right, here you go. I think I can get through everything before y'all have to leave. Okay. Gemma, come on up. So Gemma's one of these kids that does amazing things, and she doesn't want to share them. Like with her teacher. I don't know what's up with that. So she and I knocked heads quite a bit at the beginning of the year. You're in fifth grade now. You don't get to do this anymore. You're with the big dogs. no more doing this anymore. And we knocked heads, and we knocked heads, and I talked to Mom, and I talked to Dad, and we knocked heads. But here's what I know. This young lady can do amazing things, both in reading and in writing. And so the gig is up. I know you can do it, so next year, let's both save our heads. And just get this thing done, shall we? Okay? Tremendous amount of growth this year in every way possible. Socially, opened up, sometimes a little bit too much because I'm saying, I'm trying to talk. But, you know, really grew and created good friends in this community, and that, I think, is going to help her forever and ever and ever, all right? She also, too, would stay after school for about 15, 20 minutes. That kind of worked with her schedule when she got picked up and stuff. And if she had trouble with something, she'd stay and work with me. Not because I called Mom and said I need to do this, but because she took it upon herself. And I think that says a lot about your grit. I think you are on the cusp of showing that rigor that we all want to see from you. Okay? So you ready to be a leader? Bring those 4th graders into 5th grade? You sure? Tough work. Okay, last one, Mr. Dickey. Okay, so you gotta turn your hat around. Yeah. There we go. Now we can see your cute face. His mom came to me at the end of last year and said, you know, Bryn really wants to be in your class. I said, great. And she said, well, you know, she told me why. And I said, yeah, that sounds like me. So, yeah, that's a good match. Was it a good match? Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. Because when you know how you look around and you see about 5 or 6 kids like just being goofballs?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. And